check out my YouTube channel, make sure it's live now. Manage videos. Delete the previous stream because that was kind of a fail, but mostly because of TikTok. Okay, we're live right now. That's good. Checking this right here, making sure everything's good. Yep, it looks good. Let me see if I can see chat here. Okay, we got, yeah, we're live on the Bacon DAO, we're live on Periscope, we're live on my YouTube channel as well. Cool. Cool. Welcome everyone. We are officially live. I did plan to also do screen share on TikTok, but the service I'm using, Lula TV, isn't performing Periscope. Today. So we're just gonna have to do with this. Let me pop out the YouTube chat. There we go. Okay. And I'll also go live at this thing on TikTok. What's this called? Bitcoin, BTC, ETH, Altcoin Analysis. I need a screen for like I don't know, is there like a blank screen, something like that? Yeah, we'll just keep this. Cool. Okay, go live. Also live on TikTok now. That's it. That's good. That's good. Make sure this stands. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to have a hard time to read the TikTok chat and the YouTube chat and the Discord chat all together, but welcome. Okay, we're officially live, everyone. Hope you're having a good day today, and I'll be live for about 1 hour from now. So now is 10 o'clock. I'll be live till 11 for me. Let me know if the sound or anything of that sort is working well. TikTok audience, I did try to get the screen share on here again, like what we did on Sunday, but unfortunately it's not working today. It was still a hack, so sometimes it doesn't work. Hopefully TikTok, if you're watching this or if someone works at TikTok, please like let them enable the RTMP stream capability on my account. Like I've been wanting that forever. It's just not there. I don't know why. But anyways, we're live. So mostly, I want to give my kind of current update on Bitcoin, on Ethereum, on Bitcoin dominance, on some altcoin niches that I'm looking at, like the high caps, mid caps, low caps, like the shitcoins, and then the DeFi perp, the DeFi index that tracks kind of all the DeFi and see how they're doing, and then some like individual performance that I think are interesting. And then we'll do some Q&A. So I'll try to get through like what I want to do in the next 30 minutes and then 30 minutes of Q&A. So let's get started. And just so you guys know, the best place to ask questions is definitely on our Discord. We are live right now on our Discord, so make sure you check it out there. But okay, first off, I have the Bitcoin chart in front of me. And if you're on our Discord or YouTube, you can see it. But essentially, I've been talking about this since forever, right? So we always have the 21 exponential moving average, right? So this is a no-brainer, right? I've talked about this over and over and over and over again, like 100 times now. So usually, right, we all know that this is the bull market support in an uptrend. Now, this is when it's in a downtrend or when it's broken, it also acts as resistance of bear market. Now, when a clear bull or bear long-term is developed, right, is established, when is it confirmed? It's when it breaks out, up or down, and then it retests, and then it's rejected. So that starts any bull or bearish pattern or market, right, trend. So right now you see, we had two big dumps, right, weekly. By the way, this will be recorded on YouTube. And we're now below the 21 weekly EMA, right? So yes, there's a chance that we are in a bear market, but if we just kind of get back above, then we're fine, right? So really, what we don't want to see is price just kind of comes back up here, but then gets rejected, right? So if it gets rejected clearly by the 21 weekly EMA, that's not good, right? That's how the bull market started. So that's how a bear market would start as well. So that's what we need to watch. And currently that's at around 44K-ish, right? And that's why, in my last, I think 3 TikToks, I've really emphasized the importance of that like 43 to 44K range. Like I'm pretty sure we will go there on this bounce sooner or later, right? To at least like kind of test that level. And that's the range where I'll be kind of going into stables and de-risking to potentially prepare for this worst case scenario of getting rejected to the downside. I don't know if that's going to happen, right? But that's why, that's at the point where I'll start to de-risk. Now, there's also the daily chart, right? So on the daily, usually we look at the 100 and 200 weekly exponential moving average, right? So the 200 EMA on daily right now is at 41K, 42K range. So this is the first resistance, right, that we need to get above. So once we get above here, right, we still have about the 44K range, which is the 21 weekly, which also kind of coincides with these lows here. If you follow my screen here, right? So we had the February breakout, and then we had the end of February, start of March kind of retest here, right? This support. So this matches the 21 weekly EMA. So that's the next resistance, as well as I think after that, I'm looking at around 50K, which is a whole number. People like whole numbers. Also, it's the next previous low there, which now is a resistance. So in my opinion, if we can kind of slowly inch up towards this range and then like do a bit of consolidation and then break out, right, above the 50K level, then I'd be quite comfortable buying on the retest of this 50K range here. I think that's a good opportunity. But, right, I don't know the chance of this happening. I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know how likely it's going to happen. I think realistically it's probably 50%, right? I think it's very likely we get back into this range, or at least to touch the 44K, right? Getting rejected by 44 is very bad. I think that's a pretty less not likely scenario, right? I think pretty likely we get above 40K, but getting above a 50 is going to be hard. So that's why, I have my kind of strategy is to de-risk between 44-ish and 50K on Bitcoin. Now, once we get into this range, right, I don't want to bet on any clear direction. Yeah, Discord gang, just let me know if this is you can hear this. But once we get into this range, right, we could see a breakout. Once the breakout is there, it's much more likely. It's like 65, 70% that the retest will be a bounce, right? And then same thing, when in this range, if we see a breakdown, then the retest of 44 or 45 range is also much more likely to be a retest and then drop back down, right? So once that next move develops, right, whether it's this or this, both of these trades are much higher probability, and those are what I want to take. But just simply, you know, it being weird in this range chopping, there's no clear direction. So that's why you have to stay patient, right? I'm not comfortable, you know, calling any direction in either way. I certainly could. I could tell you, oh no, it's gonna be so bearish, and then it's gonna reject. And if it goes up, I just say, you know what, never mind, I was wrong. But if it is turned out to be right, then I can say, oh, I'm a genius. That's how most influencers work, right? But in this case, it really could ruin you. Like, I don't think anyone that has a good intention should be calling a strong trend right now. Just look at the chart. It's not bullish or bearish, right? We know what bounce is coming, but we don't know what the next move is. So, yeah, that's just the fact of the matter, right? Anyone can call like, oh, it's going to be super bullish, right? Like, it's going to break all the way up and then like buy it on the retest of 50. But it's too early for that. When it's actually there, you call it. But when it's too early, right, you show everybody into it. And then if it happens, right, you can say you're a genius. But if it doesn't, you ruin lives. Then why do that? Just wait for the move to develop, right? Actually have a setup beforehand. So that's what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin is the basis for everything else, right? So if you are on TikTok, you see I have the money flow diagram in crypto behind me. So just a kind of a refresher, right? Let me just bring that up. So money flow crypto. I'll also bring that up on the stream. Images, yeah, here. So this is the money flow in crypto, right? It's very basic, but it's very important. So essentially, this seems like, you know, some voodoo magic, but it's very simple, right? So when we're going up, people are euphoric, people are happy. So first they go from fiat, they buy Bitcoin, right? And then when Bitcoin starts consolidating, right, they want more gains. They think they're super smart, so they think crypto is genius. Then they start buying large caps like Ethereum and the top 10 coins like Chainlink, Cardano, Polkadot, you know, XRP, Litecoin, Doge, that kind of stuff. And then they go into mid caps, they go into low caps as they become more and more confident and as the market becomes more and more saturated. But eventually, those gains will go back into the less risky assets as the market corrects. Markets always correct, right? It's just how markets work. So when it corrects, people all of a sudden think, oh no, you know, like maybe crypto isn't like some next big thing. And then they quickly panic. So that's why they sell into Bitcoin, they sell into fiat, because those are more believable. Those are less risky. So that's the money flow, right? That's why currently, right after this big drop, what we're seeing is the this part, or on my screen here, this part, which is money flowing from low cap, mid cap, large cap back into the less risky assets like Bitcoin. And that's why in order for Ethereum and DeFi and all other coins to flourish, Bitcoin has to flourish first. Bitcoin has to develop a clear trend first before Ethereum can. Some people are saying, like, sometimes they say, oh, Bitcoin is lagging Ethereum, right? They just don't understand the fundamentals of this. Yes, sometimes Ethereum seems to go up first, then Bitcoin follows, but that's only because Bitcoin has gone up first and then it's consolidating while Ethereum caught up, right? So percentage-wise, it seems like Ethereum is making a move while Bitcoin is not, but in reality, it's because Bitcoin ran first. That has happened pretty much every single time because of fundamentals. And that's why, you know, watching the analysis that I just gave on Bitcoin, right? This is so key, right? This move here in Bitcoin. Everything else is on Ethereum, on DeFi, it's not going to decouple Bitcoin, right? When we get into this range, right? Obviously, when we see the short-term Bitcoin bounce, all other coins will bounce as well. But, you know, if we see a breakdown for Bitcoin like this, like a rejection from 45 or 50, altcoins are not going to go up. It's very simple, right? So the bigger trend to watch is always Bitcoin, right? In this case, whether it breaks upwards or downwards. And then you start to take out positions in altcoin. And when, so two scenarios, right? First, you look at Bitcoin, right? In here, you take profit. And let's say it breaks up above 50K on the retest here at 50K. You are now, comfortable longing Bitcoin, and you think the new uptrend in crypto in general is starting. Then you can look at, okay, the next coin to follow is Ethereum, because that's the number 2 coin, right? And then more large caps, like the top 10 coins, like Cardano, Polkadot, Chainlink, XRP, Dogecoin, Litecoin, etc., right? And then you move to the mid caps, like the DeFi coins and others. But that's how you use this money flow, right? When you see Bitcoin clearly develop a trend, you follow the Bitcoin trend, right? And then when Bitcoin consolidates, right, let's say on the next move up, you move to the next coins, which are Ethereum and the top 10s. And then when Ethereum and the top 10s pump and start consolidating, you move your funds and your profits into the mid caps. And then when the mid caps consolidate, you move to the shit coins. And then when the shit coins are already, also popping, it's probably time to scale back, right? So that's why this money flow crypto chart, it's so important. So lots of people will say this is a dead cat bounce as well, right? But the fact of the matter is, you can call either way right now. You can call, it's going to go that, it's going to break above 50. In reality, it's just guessing right now. You have to wait for it to develop, and then you trade, accordingly. Now that we have a strategy in place, right? Okay, I took 30 minutes to explain that. Let's look at Ethereum. So first, of course, there's the Ethereum to US dollar chart, which is interesting to say the least, right? Now, if there is any coin that could decouple Bitcoin, it's Ethereum, right? I don't think it will happen, but some people have been saying recently that they expect it. Specifically what, right? So on the Ethereum weekly chart, right, as you'll see on my screen right now, if you look at the 21 weekly EMA, right, you see we bounced perfectly from the 21 weekly EMA here. So technically speaking, ETH did not break market structure. ETH did not break into a potential downtrend. There's not even that case of, it dropped below critical support and it's potentially retesting for down. No, it actually bounced from the critical support. As well, we have this previous consolidation from 14K to 20K, right? So basically the month of February and March was when ETH was kind of doing nothing. And that's why we built a really strong support here. And you see price came down to just only wick below 20K, but very quickly bought up, right? And it's now bouncing. So yeah, looking at this chart, if we get a revisit of 20K, I would be okay longing ETH in around 2K range. Sorry, I misspoke this whole time. 2K, right? Just because, the technical pattern looks so good. We have the 21 weekly EMA, we have the support. But is it going to decouple? I don't know, right? So yeah, if Bitcoin drops below critical support, this support is not going to hold for ETH. But, if this comes here and Bitcoin doesn't drop, Bitcoin just kind of consolidates, maybe ETH could outperform. We don't know. So for that, let's look at a bit more specifically, right? ETH versus Bitcoin is very important, right? The chart. So on the weekly for ETH versus BTC, you see we have this previous resistance here, this diagonal resistance. Some people are, they're looking at this, like trying to map it to their whole PM levels right now, right? And then they say, oh, we broke above here, we had a retest, and now we're bouncing. Yes, technically, yes, if you only count the first three tops. But think about this, right? You also have this high here in January, beginning of February, right? This trend line is not that clear to me. Like you could, this also fits, right? But then because this is so long term, right? I wouldn't be like, you can't complain even if this trend line is what you respect, right? That's your kind of what you're trading based on, right? If we drop to this trend line in the next 2 weeks, back down to 0.053 from 0.071, that's what? That's a 24% drop. That would still be a perfect retest bounce, right? So if I were trading this, right, I'm risking potentially 23% until even like potentially invalidation, which is too much risk right now. So that's why, you know, if ETH BTC is like 0.05 something, then I'd be more comfortable taking this trade, right? But I'm taking the trade of ETH outperforming against Bitcoin. But you know, this yes, you could say, you know, oh, we have the perfect bounce, but I don't know, man. Like this trend line just seems like you could play this many ways. Right? You could just move it to have a different fit, right? And then all of a sudden, right, we're looking at potentially another leg down. So I don't know. I don't know about ETH outperforming Bitcoin in the short term. Also, right, if you really zoom in, here's something interesting I was looking at. So let's say 2-hour chart. No, 4-hour. Yeah, 4-hour makes more sense. So you see, first off, when we peaked around these highs from 0.075 to 0.08 ETH versus Bitcoin, right? This level was a very significant long-term resistance back from here, right? So in summer 2017 and summer 2018, we both had this level as very significant, ETH versus Bitcoin. And you see, we got rejected from here, right? So that's a good level. That's not a level that's just coming out of nowhere. Plus, if you look, zooming into the 4-hour, right? You see there is a bit of a head and shoulders here, right? We have shoulder, head, shoulder, right? And then we had a breakdown, we had retest. In fact, we had 2 retests, one retest here, one retest here. So, and then we had to move down. So now, you know, not potential head and shoulder. We had a breakdown already. We had a retest down. Now this back up here. Is this a bearish throwback, right? This, or is it this? Chances, I don't know. I think probably 50-50 chance again. But which is the better trade, right? So to me, right, at this level, at this previous neckline, if you are to bet against it and you take a short here, right, of you know, ETH BTC going down, so like Bitcoin gaining against ETH, not necessarily ETH dropping in USD value, but just the fact that Bitcoin goes up or Bitcoin, you know, stays stronger than ETH, right? Basically ETH being underperforming Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin catching up. You're only risking about like 15% here to the top for invalidation for your stop loss. But, you know, even for this low here, right? That's 23% gain there. And if we get a rejection here, right, then I think it's much more likely we drop to the levels we discussed before, like 0.05 something range. So realistically, probably something here, right? So that's a 30% gain, 15% potential loss, right? 2-to-1 trade. So that's really good, even for 50% win rate. That's the kind of, you know, mentality you need to have for you when you're trading, right? You don't know the percentages. You don't know, oh, this is for sure going this way. But instead, you say, okay, it could go either way, but if it goes wrong, I lose small. If it goes right, I win a lot. Then you take that trade, right? Even if every time, half the time you win, half the time you lose, every time you win a lot more than you lose, right? So then overall you profit. That's why, you know, I'm not willing to bet on ETH outperforming Bitcoin right now. So that's why, on this bounce, I'm still just holding more Bitcoin than ETH and other altcoins, right? Yeah. Okay, now going into some specific niches of coins, right? So with the money flow in crypto, right, these are based on market caps. So a really good tool to use is the coin indexes on FTX. So FTX has, I think, 4 indexes that are important: the alt perp, mid perp, shit perp, and DeFi perp. Right. So first, let's do alt perp. So this one has like about top 20, top 30 coins. Right. I think 10 of the top 20 coins is what they have. So it's like basically the top of the top coins. The coins these coins are what pump right after Ethereum pumps. And you can look at kind of the performance here, right? And here's a trick that's really cool. You have ETH BTC chart, right? If you want to see altcoin performance against any altcoin performance against Bitcoin, what you can do is go on TradingView and do alt perp divided by BTC USD, and you pick like FTX. This will give you, right? TradingView will do this calculation for you. What you get here is essentially the entire top 20 altcoins or so measured against Bitcoin. And here you see something like this is very, very interesting, right? So we had a huge exponential rally here. And then okay, zooming back, right? The level that's the only I think 2 levels that could be interesting, right? First off, the February 14th high here around 125, or this is indexed to 100, right? But the February 14th high here against Bitcoin, we dropped to this level on this like the bottom of this dump, and then we got picked up. But that was only one peak. That's not a very strong support. A much stronger support is like kind of down here. Let's look at weekly instead. Right. So around here, right? So November 2019, April, March 2020, summer 2020, the DeFi summer, and then even a little bit, in the February highs, right? We had like 4 tests of this resistance, and then we broke out. So I wouldn't be surprised if we revisit here, right? If it is the case that ETH doesn't outperform Bitcoin, and ETH versus Bitcoin starts going down a bit more, then I would expect top 20 altcoins going down even a bit more than ETH, and then the mid caps going down even more, and then low caps going down even faster than mid caps. Not saying this will necessarily happen, right? You have to look at what ETH is doing first. But again, this ties back to the money flow in crypto, right? So right now, money is flowing a bit from Bitcoin into altcoins again, right? But when it starts flowing back, the first ones that will flow back is the low caps, and then the mid caps will go down less. Large caps will stay relatively okay, right? And then Bitcoin will stay much more okay. That's why with the analysis, I'm trying to frame this in a not so complicated way. But basically, since we're looking at ETH versus Bitcoin, right? And we don't think ETH versus Bitcoin is a great bet right now, right? With that analysis, most other altcoins are also not a good bet right now. Because if ETH doesn't outperform Bitcoin, no other altcoin will, right? There will be individual ones, but overall, altcoin market will not outperform Bitcoin, right? So that's why, two things I'm closely watching. First off, Bitcoin, right? This range, not index 100 here, but Bitcoin, 44 to 50K range. We have to get back into this range, and then we see what happens. We don't want to get rejection. And then while this is happening, we have to look at ETH versus Bitcoin, right? See if we indeed have finished the bounce and we get back above. We invalidate this potential head and shoulders here by breaking above this neckline around 0.073 to 0.075 range. If we can do that, altcoins, could probably outperform Bitcoin again. But until then, I'm not comfortable taking altcoin positions. And then, you can take the same analysis I just did and apply that to alt perp on FTX. You can also do that on mid perp for FTX, mid perp versus BTC USD, right? And then you see this is all the mid cap coins measured against Bitcoin's performance. And you see also, right, we had a bit of bounce here. Let's look at weekly. We have a high there. We have a high kind of there. And we also have, let me just make a rectangle here. We have this consolidation here. And we had the drop, bounce from this range, only wick into this range, right? So yes, we could bounce. And we are currently bouncing, right? So you could say mid perp is a mid cap coins overall dropped a lot more than sort of the large caps. And if you go down the list, right? If you look at DeFi coins, if you look at shit coins, the lower the market cap you go, the more these coins dropped on this dump, on this overall market dump. And that's why they will bounce. But don't mistake that for them just going to outperform Bitcoin because fundamentally, oh no, new alt season is starting. That's not the case. It's only because they have dropped so much, right? So they will also rebound a bit more. But really, you have to wait for Bitcoin trying to develop. Last thing I want to look at is Bitcoin dominance, just to kind of confirm this case, right? So first, let's look at weekly, right? Weekly, there's important support here, all-time low supports that we can see. So back in January and April 2018, so that was the last major bull market, 2017, 2018 bull market, right? At the end of the bull market was the peak of altcoins, and Bitcoin dominance had the lowest ever levels from 35% to 40%. And now we're back around this level again, right? That's somewhat significant. And then pair that with this weekly bounce here, right? If you zoom into the daily, it becomes a bit more clear, right? We touched this zone, we had a clear bounce, and then look at the 4 hour, right? Let me just have the brush tool here, right? We had a bounce, first low there, and then higher low, and then now we drop below, but technically speaking, this is not a lower low just yet, right? Bitcoin dominance is calculated, right? So it's not, don't treat the wicks too strictly, right? But technically speaking, we are not making a lower low here yet. So you can't say, Bitcoin dominance is going down again, and then this is alt season continuing. That's not the case. It's very critical to watch this now. So if Bitcoin dominance drops back down to 40% and then break below 40%, then new alt season is clearly in. But until then, right? If Bitcoin dominance kind of bounces from 43, right? And especially if it makes a new high above 47 range, that would make actually a new uptrend in Bitcoin dominance. What does that mean? That means that would be the reverse of alt season. So going back to the money flow in crypto. Alt season is the process of fiat going to Bitcoin, going to large cap, mid cap, low cap. So you just kind of follow the ladder of market cap, right? And take on more and more risk, and you just continuously make money. You think you're a genius. But the reverse of alt season is very rough, right? The lower the market cap coin is, the faster they go down, right? In the reverse alt season. And how do you identify a reverse alt season? Is with this kind of pattern of continued uptrend in Bitcoin dominance. So really, we have to watch this very closely right now. So far, right, because we are testing this 43 range again, it's not so clear, right? I would say right now, Bitcoin and altcoins are kind of performing equally as well. So if they go down, they kind of go down the same percentage. If they go up the same percentage. But okay, just kind of tying everything together, right? First, you look at the Bitcoin chart. You see the trend, right? Of once Bitcoin breaks back into 43 to 50K range, if it breaks up, then you know the uptrend is starting. If it breaks down, the downtrend is starting. And then if altcoins, when the Bitcoin trend is clear, right? If it's bullish, altcoins will probably come back. If it's bearish, altcoins will not come back, right? Because even Bitcoin is dropping. And you should see that reflect on the Bitcoin dominance chart as well. So specifically, if Bitcoin breaks up and then consolidates, what you should see is first, when Bitcoin first starts breaking up, we're probably going to see like something like this sideways on Bitcoin dominance. And then when Bitcoin dominance consolidates, when Bitcoin price consolidates, you'll see Bitcoin dominance start to trend up again, making higher highs and higher lows. Conversely, same thing, right? Like on the downtrend, probably same thing first like this. And then when really people start to capitulate, Bitcoin dominance probably break below support and then kind of trend down. No, sorry, I got that reverse, right? No, that's the reverse. So this is why it's so confusing. If Bitcoin starts a new uptrend, then Bitcoin dominance should probably go down when it consolidates. If Bitcoin price gets rejected and starts a new downtrend, eventually Bitcoin dominance is going to revert as people just kind of lose faith in altcoins first. So also watch Bitcoin dominance very clearly, very closely. So that's kind of a very comprehensive breakdown of just kind of thinking out loud what I'm looking at on the market right now, how I'm playing things. I'm not sure if everything is too clear. I just kind of blurbed it out, but basically right now Bitcoin trend is not clear, so you have to wait for Bitcoin to clearly develop either an uptrend or a downtrend, right? And that means you survive this period of chop. If you need to, right, you reduce your risk, you take some profits, you ignore the news, stop looking at so many charts, go into some stable coins, right, put it into like more safe farms so you get a bit of interest during these times, but do what you have to do to reduce your risk and not get FOMO'd in or panic sold by like all these kind of shills and noise going on until a clear trend develops. And then once that's clear, we should also see, first off, ETH BTC making a clear trend either up or down, and then Bitcoin dominance making a clear trend either up or down. And then with these two things, you would know overall if altcoins are still a good bet and when they become a good bet against Bitcoin. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm looking at. One very particularly interesting case is Dogecoin, actually. So if there's any coin that could decouple in this recent drop that we've seen, right, it's actually Dogecoin. So let's just compare. So one of the strongest coins recently is obviously Ethereum, right? So on the right here, I have the Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart. On the left, I have Ethereum, Doge versus Bitcoin. So first off, you need to understand that all the drops are determined by Bitcoin. When Bitcoin drops, everything drops. But the coin that's likely to decouple is the ones that just instantly gets bought up or gets the least affected by Bitcoin's dump. And you see, it's very interesting here because as you know, since kind of April, right? Dogecoin against Bitcoin has had two of these kind of, I would say, bullish pendants, right? Form already. And then in this period since beginning of May to this recent drop, May 20th, May 19th, Dogecoin was looking like, you know, it's making a lower high here, right? So it was already looking kind of weak here, right? But on this drop, it did not break market structure. It like wicked below the support, but it bounced from support, right? Even within the Dogecoin versus Bitcoin. But if you look at ETH here, on the other hand, right, ETH versus Bitcoin, since the same period from April 14th or so, right, ETH has been on a continued uptrend, right, just kind of straight up against Bitcoin. But it actually dumped. Like, it's quite weird, to be honest with you, right? And also, if you look specifically on that day, the follow-up to the dump, right? Just kind of zooming in, let's say 4-hour chart. This big drop on May 19th, right? Let's find the May 19th drop on ETH, right? On the left here, you have Doge. So you see same hour or same 4-hour time frame, right? It's much more clear on the hourly. You see, we had a huge drop of I don't know what percentages is, but that's actually not important because the drop was instantly bought up in the next 4 hours. And we like actually recovered to the same spot. Whereas for ETH, it dropped and then it just didn't recover. It had a bearish retest and it continued down. So that was very, particularly interesting. Basically, like, how I think the reason for this is basically the crowd that's investing in Doge is just so different from all other crypto investors, right? Like most crypto coins, right? If you look at ETH versus Bitcoin, DeFi perp versus Bitcoin, mid cap versus Bitcoin, DeFi coins, NFT coins, privacy coins, Litecoin, everything other coin versus Bitcoin, it had very similar structure as ETH. But Doge, no, it didn't. It didn't break its own market structure. So, you know, that's actually very interesting. So that's why for most coins, right, including ETH and then the top coins like Polkadot, Cardano, Link, Litecoin, etc., and the DeFi coins like DeFi perp, everything included like Uniswap, Maker, Synthetics, those kind of stuff, I will be closely watching Bitcoin dominance as well as their price versus Bitcoin. So like what we discussed previously, Ethereum versus Bitcoin, right? We need to see a new high. But on Doge, I'm actually not so interested in watching it against Bitcoin. Instead, I would say it's okay to just watch its price against dollar, because people that trade Doge are not looking at their performance against Bitcoin. They simply don't understand it. It's just, it's weird, but it's markets are crazy actually. So that's why just simply looking at Doge versus dollar chart, right? What has been the kind of repeating pattern that has been going, right? So, and, oh, briefly lost connection. Okay, the repeating pattern from what I see is breakouts, right? Trading the breakouts on Doge actually has been working very well. Most other coins, this is not good, but on Doge it's fine. Why? Because basically every time there's a breakout, it's like Elon pumping it, or like some narrative pumping, and then all of the people that actually like, basically every single one of these pumps is caused by just random shills, and then like just people FOMOing in, like they think Doge is gonna go to moon. Now, I'm not saying that's right or wrong, or if it's like people are scamming, or at this point, you know, as long as you have good risk management, you're here to make money, right? I'm not commenting on the fundamentals of Doge, or you know, if this is ethical or not. We're here making money. So obviously you need to have really good risk management first. You need to look at kind of the big swings of 100% in a day, 50% down in a day for Doge, and you adjust your risk accordingly. But if you are putting in small enough amount, trading the breakout has been very consistent. So let's say back in December, right, of last year, January 1st, this breakout of 0.5 cents, good trade, right? And then again, breakout above 10 cents, another good trade, right? And then consolidates, the breakout above 8 cents, another good trade. Here again, the breakout above the previous high. Let me just mark these levels up so it's a bit clear. Breakout above previous high of 40 cents, another good trade, right? Some people, the kind of there's a good saying, the bell curve of IQ for traders. The middle of the bell curve traders will say, dude, like if people were trading this at 6 cents or like 0.5 cents, right? 1 cent, 10 cents, why would you buy at 40 cents? But that's the thing, right? That's a huge misconception. There is no such thing as too expensive or too cheap when you are trading technicals, right? Because you always, on any of these breakout trades, right, you have a clear stop loss and take profit, right? So every time, all you're concerned with is on the breakout, for example here, right, you put in a long position. Oh, why is this? Okay, it's scaled up, but that's weird. I'll just use two. So on this breakout, right, say you put in a long here, you have, let's say, a stop loss below the previous low, right, respecting the same pattern repeating again, right? If it drops to the previous low, you know the same pattern is not going to repeat. So that's like a 13% stop loss. And then on the take profit side, right, you map kind of the percentage gain of the previous run up, and then you map it to the breakout point, right? And that's your stop loss and take profit. You don't hold this for long term. It's a trade. So that's why you're not concerned with how cheap or expensive it is. That's a complete misconception. If you didn't have a stop loss and take profit, you shouldn't be doing this anyways, right? Because it's not going to go up indefinitely. At some point, your stop loss will be hit, right? And at some point, it will drop back down, and even all the way down, right, in a bear market. But as long as it's trending up, you just keep taking the same breakout trade, right? So here, you have a stop loss like this, and then your take profit was like 90%, your stop loss was around 10%. So you have a, 9x risk to reward, right? Reward to risk. So that's a really good trade. Same thing here on the breakout, right? You have a stop loss of 15% below the previous low, and your potential profit, even on the first leg, was 86. So that's like a 5x, right? Reward to risk. Same thing on this breakout, right? About 40 cents. So this one, you have probably something like here, like 40% stop loss. And then you would have made about 80% gain. So that's 2 to 1, still very good, right? In the grand scheme of things, with how consistent this is. So that's why, yeah. What am I getting at? Really, yeah. Losing my track of thoughts here. Yeah, okay. So for Doge, I'm actually not so concerned with the overall market, how it's doing. As long as Bitcoin, basically, as long as Bitcoin doesn't go into a full bear market, Doge's performance depends less on Bitcoin and overall altcoin market and Bitcoin dominance, but more so on like when the breakout happens, when basically like Elon announces some like new crazy show again. It's sad how that is, but it's basically what's driving Doge's price, right? It's not the Bitcoin fluctuations, less so, right? Because like on this big drop, right? Yes, the crypto people, they dumped, but they were bought up by the Elon people. So that's probably the best way to put it. So yeah, for Doge right now, I'm watching kind of this trend line. There's a really good video made by Alessio Restani on YouTube. You guys can probably check it out. It's very informative. But I'm waiting on a break of this trend line, and then also kind of the previous all-time high here. Not all-time high, but the previous high around 0.04142 range. And then that's also the high here. So I'll mark that here. So there's this high, this low, these two highs, right? So this is kind of the level I'm watching, this red line. And I would probably just kind of extend that a little bit above here. Yeah, so that I took these from Alessio, but I think this is a pretty decent trade. So first we need to see, you know, if you are aggressive, you can enter on the breakout of this above this diagonal resistance. But a less aggressive play is to wait for the breakout above here, above this horizontal resistance, 0.041 to 0.045 range, and then you buy on the retest down here. When this happens, right, if this happens, I wouldn't be so concerned even like with how Bitcoin dominance, how Bitcoin is doing when this actually happens. Because like I said, you know, the people that are, when this happens, right, it's less likely, it will be less likely due to Bitcoin recovering or like altcoin picking up again, crypto stuff. It's probably more likely that if this happens and when this happens, it's like some kind of show and coordinated show by Elon happening again. So yeah, so that's another interesting trade I'm watching if this happens. Okay, that's all the stuff I'm looking at right now. It's quite a mouthful. I'll just keep those lines there. This average exponential moving average there is not so relevant. I'll keep that line there. And I'll drink some water. Let's take some questions for, let's say, 20 minutes. I definitely rambled way too much, but yeah. Okay, obviously we're gonna do the Discord gang first. So I'm looking at Discord questions right now. Drop your questions in the events chat for everyone that's listening in right now. And I'll scroll up to when we first started. Am I live on YouTube? Yes, I'm live on YouTube. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, this call will be recorded. It will be viewable as a VOD on the YouTube. And Yes, I will try to get the screen share to work again on TikTok, but unfortunately not today. The service just their website is down, so the service I'm using. Wonka says I need to take notes on how to be as ground as VB. Dude, Wonka, I think your analysis is super good. Like I just don't put enough time into TA, but like I think I have a bit more experience, like trade management wise, because I've been burnt so many times, literally like 100 times. I've seen it all, man. Like, and I've like also won so many times that it just it kind of doesn't matter anymore. Like, it goes up, it goes down, whatever. You know, I yeah. Yeah, so just get burned and then get and then also win. And then once you have like the more you do it, it just gets better. But I think your analysis is better than mine. You have way more tooling. You understand alleyway a lot better than I do. Yeah, that's why I just stick to basics and only trade kind of stuff I know, and like just take the same kind of trades over and over again. I don't try to force things. Do you think 1 inch will survive through next cycle or die off? Hard to say. Hard to say. I think the DEX kind of projects will survive. I think Uni will survive probably because they're the biggest and first. Sushi probably also. 1 inch. They have some improving to do, catching up in terms of market adoption. Yeah, but the technology will definitely survive. The AMM type technology that's started by Uniswap will definitely survive. But right now, 1 inch is a super good project. That's the 1 inch is actually my preferred AMM that I use. I don't use Uniswap or SushiSwap. I always go through 1 inch because their routing is very good. It gets me the best prices, lowest slippage. You have to lose to win. Yeah, exactly. Lordy asks, what video games do you play, if any? Oh, I'm a huge gamer. I used to be for like 12, 15 years. I probably had the most hours in CS. I have like 3,000 hours in CS. Played a bit of Valorant, League of Legends, Overwatch. I don't know, WoW Classic, all kinds of stuff. I play a lot, but not so much right now. I don't know. I think I got past the gaming phase. Like I really wish I could have as much fun in games as before, but it's just not as fun anymore. It's really sad. Did you go over Matic? No, I didn't. I don't think it's worth going over it because I can bring up the Matic chart, but even without bringing it up, I know what it's going to look like. It's going to look like a huge pump, and then it's like on a dip, and then it could be potentially making like a lower high. And then you don't know what to do. That's why you do nothing, right? So even talking about it, some people will like, as long as I talk about it, some people will try to think, oh no, like Bacon talked about it, maybe it's good. No, it's not. Like when it's a huge pump, but then also huge dump, it's too volatile, right? It's just, there's nothing there. Yes, you can continue to ride this if there's alt season, but since there's no alt season right now, you don't know what to do, right? Like this right here could easily be like a lower high, right? So not good in my opinion. Not saying fundamentally it's not good. Please like separate your fundamental belief, what you see on the news, oh such adoption, versus like what's actually on the chart. Yes, there could be such adoption, but there could be no trade, or it could be topping out in the short term. That's just the market fluctuations, right? So don't trade with fundamentals. That just doesn't work, right? If you have some insider information that you think hasn't been priced in, then that's good. But if everyone's already talking about it and it's clearly priced in, then don't like show yourself into a weird trade, right? P&D 10K asks, can I connect my buddy with you for the NFT incubator? Yes, please do. Please do. Just ping me, or I guess ping me in the NFT chat. That's probably the best place. And a side note, the NFT launchpad is actually complete. The smart contracts they're being audited right now. And they will be used to launch the Bacon ticket NFTs that will have the Bacon tokens, as we previously discussed. So the launchpad platform is the biggest part of the NFT incubator, right? So that's yeah, I'm actually building the front end for that right now. Given all the new institutional interest in BTC and ETH, do you think any bear market will likely be different from before? Again, don't ask this question. I'm not saying this is I'm not being like a dick about it, but this is asking this question is a really bad idea for making money, because you will not be able to ask an institutional investor this question and get an actual valid response. So basically everyone you ask is the wrong person. And nobody you know or I know will have the answer to this, right? I don't know Brian Armstrong from Coinbase, right? It's just like, that's just a fact. So yeah, just so when you ask this, like, the honest people will say, I don't know, or like, it's not reliable, or like they give you like some rough thing and say, oh yeah, like long term is good, right? But there's not going to be any useful info, right? And then the really kind of engagement clickbaity people will say, oh, institution big, like super cycle, right? While that could be true, nobody has data to back that. Only the quant firms like Alameda, FTX can probably quantify that. Vitalik probably has like information quantified on that, but nobody else does. So that's not a good question to ask. Like, yeah. So the good answer is I don't know, and nobody else would know also. So probably don't try to trade with this. Instead, trade with technicals, trade with price action, and if you really are into fundamentals, do research and try to get ahead in like coins that people haven't discovered. Then there could be some asymmetrical information that you could gain advantage on beforehand, but not the institutional BTC and ETH news. Those will not make it to our ears before it's clearly priced in, right? So by the time it makes to us, it's probably doing the opposite. Just trying to get some good questions. What do you think about VET? What do you think about ADA right now? Same thing, right? Just look at the VOD, right? It's we have to wait for alt season. We have to wait for Bitcoin to clearly establish a trend. Complex HD. Wow, you have a lot of hours in CSGO, man. Okay. Zooming in. When you were talking about taking profits and having stop losses, do you have a certain amount of profit in mind when you exit, or is there a way through TA to estimate next high? Yeah, so it's always through TA. So when there's previous consolidation, when there's previous resistance, you typically you can target the previous resistance, right? For example, like if you look at like Bitcoin USD, right? Right. Let's say you played this bounce. Right, let's say you put in a long here and you want to play the bounce. Then let's use this long tool, right? Your stop loss will be below the previous low, below the 30K range, because that's a key support around 30K from back here, and also here, right? So you don't want to make a new low, right? So your stop loss will be below this 30K range, and then your take profit could be like this range that we discussed here, right? 44 to 50, right? You could play that, or a less reliable way is kind of relying on technical patterns. So let's say you have this like maybe like head and shoulders. Some people are talking about this right now, right? So if we do a head and shoulders, and this is obviously, if you take this as a very short-term trade, right? If this is head and inverse head and shoulders, right? So shoulder, head, shoulder. If this completes, you can wait for the breakout and long the retest. And then the take profit, right? Some people will say that you can do like the height of the head, right? Like this. And then you bring it to the breakout point right here. And then that target is like 50K, right? Some people trade like this, but it's kind of a meme. Usually these kind of estimates work only because they typically coincide with critical support resistance levels, right? That's how it is usually. Yeah. So that's that. Wunka asks, tournament CS? Yeah, I mean we could do that. Definitely. I wanna play some CS again. JR asks, do you think there's a possibility bull run to end a few months or week early compared usual December to January end since market is a bit overheated? Dude, there is no set months that the bull run usually ends in. No. That's not reliable. That's a meme. There's only like 4 or 5 bull runs so far, and only like 1 ended in December to January. Like there's nothing there. There's no data to prove that. So no, there's no set month. There are hot month, right, where people have money and tend to pump markets. That's the Christmas effect or Halloween effect. Some like Easter effect, but these are not crypto specific. These are like just overall stock market, overall market specific, because during these holiday times people have more money, so they want to invest. That's a seasonal thing, but that's not like that. There's no high correlation between like bull market ending with specific months. Udon asks, once the ETH 2.0 comes out, layer 2 chains become irrelevant? No, not really, because first off, ETH 2 doesn't come out in like another year and a half, right? Plus, when ETH 2 comes out, it's still not like Solana levels of scaling. It's like, 10,000, 5,000, 10,000. I don't know what the TPS is. But on top of that, layer 2 can still work on top of ETH 0, right? No, ETH 2.0 base layer, right? And overall, they can be even faster. So no, yeah, the same technology can be applied again. There, layer 2 decks like QuickSwap, these asks, it's good. It's good. It's I don't know what to say. I mean, it's fast. It's cheap. It's a good project, but that doesn't mean its price will pump, right? So separate the fundamentals from trading. Do you think there are too many launchpads coming? Yes. How can it affect the ideal scenario? They have to innovate. There have to be good projects. Can you talk about layer 1 as well? Yeah, so other layer 1s, ETH 2 will innovate, but other layer 1s will innovate as well, right? So are you still confident BTC will reach 45K? Yeah. No. That if it doesn't reach 45K, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing here? Even, I'm sorry I missed if there was any Bitcoin analysis. Yeah, just check the VOD. It's gonna be on YouTube. Kareem, thanks for the good kind words. Have you ever heard of Celo? Yeah. So Celo is like this kind of stablecoin payments, global type of money payment network. It's good. It's a good project. I don't know investment wise if it's a good idea. I have to analyze the chart quite in depth. Are you still selling 50% of ETH between 3.2 and 3.5? Yeah, pretty much. So my projection is when Bitcoin gets into this range between like 4.4, 4.5 to 50K, I think ETH could hit like 3.2K, right? And that's when I'll be selling probably half of my ETH around that range. Waterboy says CS tournament is being worked on. Awesome. PND 10K best crypto community. Thanks, man. Why did you change the logo of VirtualBacon? No, it's not changed. So yeah, the Discord is the Bacon DAO Discord, because it's not just a VirtualBacon brand anymore. Like all the content you see is not. There's basically very little content is made by me now. It's like all the contributors head contributors, the team members, and everyone else making the content. So it's not like VirtualBacon. It's bacon down now. So that's way more accurate. What's the most popular crypto individuals you know other than yourself, of course? Most popular? Well, most well-known right now? I don't know, like Satoshi, Vitalik, CZ, SBF, Brian Armstrong, right? I'm not sure what you... Oh, you mean like you know. Who are the biggest? I know, I guess. Personally. I know BitBoy. I could reach BitBoy. He's getting pretty big right now. I don't know. I know... Who do I know? Yeah, I don't know too many founders. I've talked to FTX on Twitter before. I have FTX merge. I don't know who manages that account. Maybe it's SBF. that would be really interesting. Then I would have talked to SBF, but I don't know. Lamau BitBoy. Yeah, dude, you'd be surprised how, like, love him or hate him, right, BitBoy, for his content. Like his work ethic and his marketing, and he's a content genius, honestly. Like he smashes content. I wouldn't say like following him is the best like trading advice and all, but like for entertainment and for some stuff, right, you have to pick, like, because he has a really good team, right? So if it's projects up and coming, you could find new projects that you otherwise wouldn't have heard of. That's my experience with him. But like, you know, when he tells you to buy, it's kind of, you know, you take that with a grain of salt. Yeah. But dude, like his content is like insanely like high engagement, right? It's crazy. He nails like all the social platforms. So he's a really good social media person. Yeah, like everywhere he's super big. Like you know, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok. It's crazy. Anyways, okay, so that's all the questions on Discord. Let me jump back to the YouTube chat. Sorry, I've been kind of ignoring YouTube here for a bit, but that's because the Discord is our gang, right? So we love Discord the most. Discord is the Bacon Dow family. So, opinion on CRO currently, it's not very strong. No, I thought it would be much stronger, but no, it's just not strong strength. Why do people put their money in Bitcoin instead of other coins like Litecoin, ETC? Majority of the time they have higher percent increase. No, not majority of the time they have higher percent increase. No. They follow Bitcoin, yes, but when Bitcoin dumps, they dump more, right? And when Bitcoin goes up, they don't, and then they lag behind. So the best way to optimize your gains is actually to be in Bitcoin and then like move into smaller coins, and then smaller coins, follow the money flow, right? Yeah. And you know, percent is just only part of the equation. You also have to take in the risk. Even though like a shitcoin can pump 1,000% in a day, it could also go to zero, right? Even though like a decent DeFi coin can pump 50% a day, it can also drop 50%. But Bitcoin only drops 50% in a day like once every couple years, right? So if you are a novice trader, you would think, oh no, like I want to bet big and win big. But dude, that's part of risk management. Like you don't always go all in. With Bitcoin, because it's less risky, you can put in more money. With shitcoins, you obviously don't want to put in as much money, right? So if you only have, let's say, $100, sure, like you bet on something big and win big. But once you have like decent sized liquidity, like you don't want to put it all in shitcoins, you know, because like it's too risky. So you scale it, right? With less risky coins, you have more portfolio in there, and then more risky coins, you scale back your position in those coins. I see some shows about your coins. I'm not going to show your coins if I haven't heard of them. Dude, Ethereum Classic, no, it's not. I'm just not so interested in Ethereum Classic because, dude, literally, Ethereum Classic is a broken network. Yes, it's people could pump it because like people just, it's. I've explained this before. Like Ethereum Classic is one of the few coins that has been around for so long and is on major mainstream platforms, every single one of them, right? Because it's technically also Ethereum, but you have to understand Ethereum Classic has been 50%, 51% attacked like 5 times last year. Basically, it's just not even secure. Like you could send $1 million on there and lose it. So yeah, it's not a good project, and nobody's maintaining it. So, well, not nobody, but like it's just nobody's not enough people are mining on it for it to handle the kind of transaction on there right now. Best DEX to buy tokens that are not on Uniswap, like Solana Magic. What the hell's that? I have no idea. You probably check on CoinGecko to see specific coin you want to buy. At what price should I take profit from my ETH? I don't know. You do your own research, man. Like there's no set price. You just follow when the trend reverses. Yeah, looking at the questions on YouTube, you can clearly see a difference from the ones on Discord. Discord questions are actually so good. I love our own community. But the YouTube questions, they're all kind of like, review this coin, man. Thoughts on XRP, man. Thoughts on Ethereum Classic, why pump, man? Thoughts on Sia coin, one pump, man. Big pump or big dump, man. Like it's just, hey, like, take a look at this, man. Yeah, I don't like the type of questions like, oh, yo, thoughts on this coin, thoughts on that coin. Like, just because I look at a coin doesn't mean like there is opportunity, right? 90% of the time there is no opportunity for most coins. So instead of trying to force like, oh no, I love this coin so much, it sounds so good, so like please find a trade for me. No, that's not how you do it. You just look at all your coins that you like, and then like that you check fundamentally, and then you wait, right? So yeah. Bacon DAO merchandise, that's coming soon. That should be very soon. Yeah. Do you believe whales will try to manipulate the current market until 2025K? Dude, whales manipulate the market every minute. Just let that sink in. Like every market is manipulated to some extent. Yes, there are like, you can't do too much insider trading stuff in like traditional markets, but in crypto, like people don't think, oh dude, like market's so manipulated, dude, like that's why it costs crash. No, like every market ever is manipulated. There's a whole industry behind manipulating the market, forcing narratives, right? Printing like support and resistance, right? Like making a balance from support, making a reject from resistance. That's a whole industry. It's just how markets work. Manipulation is not bad, right? Because if there was because it's not always nefarious actors that are manipulating the market, right? It's not always people that are like, we bought so much, we're gonna dump all of it on you at the top. We're gonna show it all to you and as we dump. No, that's not how all manipulations are. No, it's like if you have a piece of good news, for example, Elon Musk, right? Say you're Elon Musk and you want to buy Bitcoin, right? You want to buy like, I forgot how much they bought. They bought like $1 billion worth, right? You want to buy like $500 million worth of Bitcoin. You can't just buy that straight up. There is nowhere you can do that. You either do that on your own, which like you lose huge slippage, you pump the price even by like 20% just by yourself, and you instantly lose $100 million. Is that fair to them? No, that's not. So then what do? You manipulate. What do? you like, you suppress the price and it looks like, oh no, there's gonna be like short-term resistance, people think, right? And then create some sell-off, right? And then like you scoop it up and then it bounces, but it respects key resistance, long-term resistance, right? Is that bad? Well, when you have money, you try to get the best price for, the $500 million worth of Bitcoin you want to buy. You don't just market buy, then you lose money. How's that and you just give that to retail investors? Then what's the point, So OTC dealers, that's what they do. So yeah, manipulation is not always bad. It's just, it's making markets more efficient. So yeah, get that thought out of your head. Manipulation is not a bad thing. Anyways, I think that's about it for today. My phone's gonna die. It's like 7% right now. Thanks for tuning in on all the channels. I don't know what else. Yeah, there are a lot of good coins. I see a lot of coin requests, updates on TikTok. There are a lot of good coins. All the coins that I've talked about so far are good coins. I don't talk about shit coins that I don't want to fundamentally. But you have to respect Bitcoin and you have to respect the market flow in crypto. Once Bitcoin establishes a clear trend and once Bitcoin dominance establishes a clear trend, you can move into ETH and then you can move into large caps, mid caps, low caps, right? And then you go through the list of fundamentally strong coins, right? And try to get good entries into them. Anyways, that's it. It's about all the time I have. My throat is literally dying. B20 update. Oh wow, thanks for spamming that in the TikTok chat, man. Let me block you. But yeah, I made I think 2 update videos on B20 now. Just scroll down on my TikTok, you'll see it instead of spamming. That's probably the best way. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Has been really cool to have you all. I think this stream is pretty successful today. We have 199 people watching on YouTube. That's really cool. Almost 200. Very nice. Be sure to join our Bacon DAO Discord if you are watching on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Bacon DAO YouTube. Link in my profile in the description. Discord.gg/bacon or bacondao.com. That's our community where you can have your questions answered by not only myself, but a team of, so far we're core team of 6. We have a bunch of head contributors in doing daily Bitcoin and Altcoin analysis, doing events, token sale updates daily, right? With the calendar. We have Altcoin gem picks, right? And tools in BSC, in layer 2, in low cap, in Matic. We have actually someone that's really just knows everything inside and out about Polygon, about Matic, about QuickSwap. He's been on this since forever. American Crypto Wit, big shout out. We have also Viper, who just knows the ins and outs of BSC, right? So they are kind of who I go to for these kind of ecosystem plays. So we have dedicated contributors. We have also a Polkadot contributor, Mahi, really cool. We have Hassan doing token launches. So, any new token sales, he's the guy. So there's tons of stuff that you definitely should check out in our Discord, bacondao.com or discord.gg/bacon. And if you just in general want to ask type of specific questions, we have, let me just show you. Yeah, right. We have the Discord right here, right? We've got all kinds of chat. As you can see right now, we have people asking questions, but we also have these DAO chats that are category specific. So you can chat in here. You can ping the specific contributor if you have a really in-depth question. You can get them answered, or you can ping me in here. And we also have compiled content for kind of daily Bitcoin analysis, etc. That's it for today. See you all in the next stream. Hopefully I can get it to work on TikTok as well to screen share. Thanks for watching, everyone. It's been really cool to have you all. Have a good night. I'm gonna dip and stay safe. Try to survive the market. Don't get chopped up. Wait till the next trend develops, and then let's make more money after. Right? Stay safe. Bye bye, guys.